Hello. Hello again, mate. Oh. Right, so this video um, is a reflection 90 days in Europe when I've been to. I'm currently in Vietnam, in Hanoi, in my £7 £7 apartment. Um, I'm going to do this video on my phone because I bought a mic and I want to test out this little setup. So uh, so yeah, I mean, I was actually thinking or wanting to do this kind of reflection video on my travels, like when I was home for like 3 weeks or so. But I just kept putting it off. And yeah, so I kept putting it off, and I said I'll do it when I'm in Vietnam. I meant to do it yesterday, but I jet lagged, and tonight or today I was like, I need to do it, and I did plan to actually do it at the Hanoi Lake, which I thought would be a cool kind of full circle moment, given like been to Vietnam before, and the whole "You Like Lake" meme. So yeah, but I went and got some tattoos today. Ooh, and some vaccines. The memory lag is coming along, and it's so cheap to get. I keep forgetting about this mic. So cheap to get like tattoos here, and the tattoo artist is really really nice and really really good. Like I'm really happy with it. Um, I'm straying out of the purpose of this video already, but whilst we're on the topic, the tattoos that I got today, adding to the memory leg, is the bus or the people carrier that we had back in Poland, and the one that we literally packed our suitcases in and moved over to the UK. And then the other two, I got the Manchester Bee, which is a bit like basic, but I wanted to commemorate like my time in Western. So sorry, not in Western, in Manchester, and likewise for Western, which I think is a bit less basic. Well, it's a seagull, but it's the seagull from the crest of my Weston-super-Mare football club, like the old one that I used to play under. So, and that was such a like an incredible time. So I thought that'd be a good way to remember just my whole time in Western as a whole. So yeah, that's that. But back to the video. I have got my laptop and I've made like a few bullet points because I just want to make sure I cover of everything that I kind of had a think about and a reflection about. And actually, the first point um, is is around why I actually been putting off this video, and just generally struggling to reflect. I feel like when I returned back home, I had quite a bit of like admin things that I wanted to get sorted out, and I just went back into the mode of like every day being just a to-do list and to get complete. Um, and things were taking longer than they should have, like due to a number of different reasons. And I just, yeah, very quickly forgot about the amazing time that I had, and just went back into the old habits of just thinking about getting things done and working essentially. Obviously, not actually working for money. I mean, I did in the end, by working in the cookie factory, which was a pretty cool experience and got a good bit of money. Um, so yeah, but just really really struggled to think, and like I was really looking forward to actually going back home after 2.5 months out. Like I was ready to come home. I'm excited to like have a few weeks back at home to chillax. I'm going to turn on this fan because it's actually quite warm here. I'm so derailing so much. Oh well. Anyway, just a video for me, isn't it? So my notes have gone. Yeah. Yeah, I was looking forward to get back home, and just have a bit of a actual relax from all the traveling and it being quite intense, especially at the end with like so much driving and sleeping in the car around the Balkans and shit. Like it was certainly not overly comfortable. So, but yeah, the other aspect that I was like looking forward to is just having this time and space to actually breathe and reflect on all the things that I've experienced, all the lessons that I've learned. And I just felt like when I was at home, that just didn't happen because I went into, like, my usual habits of, just like I said, just doing to-do lists and tasks, and yeah, just thinking like, oh, how as soon as I wake up, like, I'm going to do this for 2 hours, I'm going to do this for 3 hours, and so on, and then getting annoyed myself, and I wake up late and don't do those things, or I try to do those things, but something happens, like the printer's not working or XYZ, and yeah, just wasn't really good. But the flight way here, and also today, like sitting in the tattoo parlor, like just getting the tattoos done, like really helped me to actually reflect. And I also think the fact that I'm traveling is helping to, in that. Well, for 6 minutes already, I'm not even started pretty much. Yeah. Anyway, I mean, like, yeah. So I think the biggest takeaway, and actually did happen when I was home, but it wasn't kind of proclaimed. It was a special someone, like, asked me, like, when I came home, like, do I feel like a new man? And at first I was like kind of a bit defensive. Like, in myself, I was like, do I need to be a new man? Like, was the old man bad necessarily? Yeah, like, should I be completely new? Even though I knew, like, and since when I was traveling, I knew that I was kind of changing, or at least during the time of my travels, I thought I was becoming a better version of myself. But yeah, when I was at home, I was like, I don't feel any different. But when I had a chance to actually, like, it was a late night thought, obviously, to think about that question a little bit deeper. I don't know if this is a new man. I mean, this is a certainly a trait, or a lesson that perhaps will make me a new man, if that makes sense. And that takeaway, or that lesson, was around, like, just full self acceptance and love for myself. In the most what's the word? I always forget it when I need to know it. When you the person who, like, loves themselves too much, not nepotism. Oh, fucking hell. Anyway, um, yeah, I'm self acceptance and self love in the sense of, like, I fully accept myself as I am, in the time and space that I am, like, accepting where I am right now in my life, and really just being truly authentic myself in all situations, and being kind of unapologetic in some cases around that, and yeah, just seeing the beauty in yourself a little bit, like, again, not in, like, a cocky way, but just in a full acceptance, full love, for oneself, trying to not judge yourself, essentially. um and yeah, just realizing that through self acceptance, through self love, like, no matter where life takes me, as long as I am, love myself and I accept myself for however life turns out, or in whatever situation I am in, I'm going to be happy. And that's not to say happy is the end goal necessarily. I believe that, happy is kind of the byproduct of how you perceive yourself, and how you perceive the things that happen in your life. Um, but but yeah, fucking lost my trail of thought there. But yeah, through that self acceptance, you realize what love is, and then if you love yourself, you actually tend to. What I found, anyways, you seek out love, but not in, like, I need validation from someone, but you truly find love in everything, like, from the strangers that you meet, to the people, like, I don't know, serving you at a counter, just lovely interactions, to beautiful scenery that you are seeing, or incredible food that you are eating. I feel like it all starts from yourself, and if I'm not breaking anything new, like if you love yourself and if you accept yourself as you are, you begin to really accept the world as it is and love it as it is. And of course, traveling and going to incredible places, like seeing like incredible views, helps that, because it makes it easier for you to be grateful um for the beautiful world that we live in, because you are seeing beautiful things. Like, see, if you're in fucking Siberia or something, it's harder to be a bit more grateful. So but I feel like that traveling and the self acceptance has made kind of made it change my brain, where now I actively seek out love, and it feels good. And I think you know from like literally seeing love and falling in love with people, with experiences, with places, like it's led me to like generally feeling like I'm finding God. For the first time, like truly. I mean, I know I obviously grew up in a Catholic church. My family was Catholic, but it felt like a chore, and it felt like something that was forced upon me. Not in like a harsh way. It was just the family live, and you just kind of like, okay, this is what we do. But maybe I just, as a kid, you don't really understand what God is. And maybe if I didn't go traveling and I didn't have that experience of self acceptance and finding love, maybe I wouldn't have found God. And yeah, God is good. God is good, brother. And when you travel, when you accept yourself for who you are, you start seeing Him, and you want to see more and more and more. And sometimes you get emotional. Like, there's times when I just think about it, and I start crying just because of how overwhelmingly beautiful it is, and like literally so, I don't like, activating. I don't know. Like, it hugs your soul. That's how it feels like. Um, and I'm, like I said, I'm on the path to rediscover my faith, not religion, but faith in God, and faith in Jesus Christ and His teachings. And like, I started to read the Bible for the first time in my life. I mean, obviously, I've been to church and they read out the Bible there, but you don't listen as a kid. Like, you just think about, when's mass gonna end so I can get back and do the things that I actually want to do, rather than sit in this cold building. So yeah, and like, I've started to read a few passages, and like, I've cried multiple times, just at the awe of the beauty in the lesson that is being portrayed in the Bible, particularly the New Testament. So so yeah, I'm excited to do that. I feel like you know um it might lead me closer to God, or make me realize maybe this is not the God that I want to look at, or maybe I don't believe in God anymore. But just like feeling like you're connected to the world, and through that, seeing God, feeling God, the God within other people, the God around us, um, is just incredible and extremely overwhelming, but in the most positive way. And I just can't wait to just keep on learning and deepening that faith, if that faith is really really there. And yeah, honestly, it's the most thing I'm most excited about, which I never thought I would come to the conclusion that I'm gonna rediscover my faith. It's crazy. And the other thing, that I'm not apologetic about it, and I think this comes again from the self-acceptance and self-love. I feel like in the modern day, it's not cool to be religious. It's not cool to believe in God, or Jesus, and so on. It's kind of, yeah, I feel like modern society, and of course the rise of science, has kind of pushed that away. But there's a place in this world for God and science, believe me, and that includes rejecting some of the, perhaps, the teachings inside the Bible and other religions. Like, you don't have to take it all as 100% truth. All you need to do is take learnings from it, like you would from learnings from other books or other types of education, like, rather than this is exactly what happened in history. Because we don't know that the Bible was written many years after Jesus Christ was on this earth through multiple authors, so we don't truly know for word if it's right. But I think that's not the important thing here. I think the important thing is the learnings and the teachings that we can take from the stories that are told, and apply it to our daily life. And the overwhelming, theme in that is love, is operating in 100% love as much as you can, and you're never going to be able to achieve that, but just mentally and physically, you know, trying as hard as you can to to do good is going to be life changing. Like I say, it's a journey. You can't be good or bad. That's why I feel like God gave us free will to be able to find Him by our own free will, rather than essentially be a slave to how He wants the world to operate. He's kind of just breathed life into us and go and explore and come back. So yeah, and then it's up to us to try and find Him, and the only way to find Him is through yourself, because God is everywhere. God is within us. God is in every single person, every creature. He's in this fucking wardrobe. Like, He is everywhere if you look for Him and if you operate in the language of God, which is love. So yeah, big waffle there, but I'm just honestly just so excited to read the Bible, man. Read the Bible, and maybe after the Bible, read the Quran, read the Torah. Like, actually have an understanding, for faith, myself, and have a personal relationship with God, because religion is important, but religion, I think, was created to be a political structure to control people, but also give them, a structure to live. Like, if you think back to, not even more than 100 years ago, like, where we had such little information about what we are doing here, whether our planet is round or fucking, flat, and all other like really, really huge topics. Like, and people must have been lost. They didn't have the information to how to operate. So religion provided them the structure that they needed. But now we are in the modern world. I don't think that that's reliance on religion is as strong anymore, um and in a good way that allows you to use knowledge. Don't use knowledge from the modern world. Use ancient, knowledge and practices, and your own spiritual intuition to go on a journey where you're able to still believe in God, still have a relationship with God, but sort of on your own terms. Obviously, like, we can agree to certain things that you shouldn't do. It's pretty common sense, I feel like, in terms of what's the right thing to do as a human and what's not. But ultimately, like, yeah, just having a pure personal relationship with God is the way to go. At least personally for me, some people maybe will find God better with the structure of religion, and that's totally fine. But yeah, like I say, although I enjoyed going to church. Like, I've been going to church. Well, I only went twice when I was at home. Because there's only 2 or 3 weeks that I was there with my sister, but I thoroughly enjoyed it because you're actually listening and you're actually, taking it in. The priest gives his own spin or his own perspective on the gospel, and you really listen and you really analyze and try and take something away from it yourself. So yeah, I feel like I would, probably, if I had to subscribe to religion, still be Catholic. Like, I think Jesus Christ really was the Son of God, but maybe not in the terms of, like, born from a Virgin Mary. More in terms of, he was so close to God, he found Him, and all He wanted to do is tell us how to find Him, by practicing the right things yourself. Not necessarily subscribing to a religion or praying to Him as a person, or creating Him as a god. I feel like some of the message might have been kind of twisted to make him a sort of a god himself, but he really wasn't. He was an ordinary man like us, and he said that before. Um, and Which means we can all basically theoretically become Jesus. And of course, we can't ever probably get there, but we can have a good crack at it. And I think that's the moral that of the story that I'm gonna try to explore, at least for the next hopefully for the rest of my life, but at least for the next 3 to 6 months, really go through the Bible and really try to deepen that faith and work on it. Because honestly, when I started to see God, it was just beautiful. It was honestly beautiful. Um, so yeah. Anyway, fuck me, 20 minutes is gonna be like an hour-long video, but like I say, it's just gonna be me watching, and all the version of me that is. So yeah. Anyway, the other thing, I mean, I say I've not done much reflection. I've just spoke about it for like 10 minutes straight, but um the other key kind of things that I've learned and reflected upon is I feel like I now truly know what I enjoy in this life. Um, and that is meeting new people, hearing their stories, having as many new experiences as possible. That's seeing stuff, doing stuff, like, eating stuff, creating stuff. Just experience as much as you can in this short time that we have on this incredible planet. Um, and yeah, I mean, I feel like I've on this. On the last thing, of course, is music. I mean, I didn't go like the nightlife actually in Europe kind of sucked. I was a little bit disappointed. Um, but creating music, listening to DJ mixes. Every time, like I went back to Manchester during my time at home. I went to see Judd Jansen. And I was locked in for 5 hours, and I felt God. I felt God. I was there in a trance, just enjoying the music, and I was like, I feel God. I see God. Well, obviously, Judd, godlike, godlike performance and aura about him. Obviously, I was going to say he's not God, but God is everywhere. God is within him as well. So, and maybe he is God in that sense. But yeah, I just felt so much love, so much fulfillment and oneness with the music, that I was like, I really enjoy creating music. I really enjoyed mixing music. I'm gonna be on this planet once, so I'm gonna have a proper crack at it. At least before I have to think about children and family and marriage and so on. I'm going to follow what I call, well, I didn't call it, but it's from a book called The Alchemist, which my brother sent to me, and I listened to that book, and I was like, this, because he's like, from speaking to you, I feel like what the teachings from this book is what you're experiencing, and he was totally right. I'm not going to go through what the book necessarily is all about, but the key takeaway is about following your personal legend, which is the intuition that you have over what your purpose in this life is, and following your passions, or whatever that intuition is pulling you towards. And for me, right now, anyway, that intuition is pulling towards music. So I'm going to um, fully pull myself into it. Of course, I need to make money, but I'm not going to go back to the 9 to 5. Hopefully, anytime soon, and have a way to make money where I'm able to fully mentally and physically focus on the music, be in the right places, and start building something. And if something happens, fantastic. If it doesn't, then it's also fantastic. But I will be so fulfilled knowing that I went to chase my dreams. I followed my intuition and my passion, that I felt from my soul, and I operated in love because I love music. I realized I don't really love the 9 to 5 or the corporate world or selling. Like, I enjoy it. Um, sometimes I'm good at it, but like it's not the love I have for music or for creation, being creative or traveling. So if that is your true love, I feel like that is what you should follow, especially in the age and where you don't have any dependables, whether that be children or a partner, a wife specifically, like a house, like the world's your oyster, literally, and you should go after it, after what you truly feel is important to you. And if you've not found that thing, you have to come out of the matrix, like literally look back, like take a step back and give yourself the opportunity to go find out what that personal legend is to you, and find the omens that lead you to that personal legend. And the omens are when you act, I feel like when you act in the language of love, and you try to pursue what you are interested in, the universe, and again, I'm not saying anything new here, the universe colludes to help you, and you see these in the coincidences that happen that help you go on the journey that you're going to. And like whether they are, the universe acting towards you on, in your best interest or not, or they are just purely coincidence, again, it doesn't really matter. If you truly believe the coincidence is an omen or something working towards your consciousness, towards your dream, or towards your passions, whatever you are following, you will take that as the truth, which leads to the next point, where reality is malleable. Whatever you see, whatever you speak into the truth, and when you act in love towards something, your reality will bend towards that. So like I say, like if you see a coincidence that acts towards you where you're trying to go, take it as an omen, because when you do, like it will almost become from potentially fake or coincidence to something that is real, if you believe, like I do, that reality is a projection, and reality is fully malleable by your thoughts, by your actions, and by your words. So yeah, follow the omens, find your personal legend, and go and find the real world. And that kind of leads me to the next point, is well, I said this earlier, is like you can't, it's really difficult, well, I found it anyway, and maybe for the majority of people, it's difficult to find that personal legend, to find the love in the world, when you are stuck in the 9 to 5 system that we live in. Like honestly, just as soon as I quit my job, just the weight off your shoulders is just crazy, how like it literally feels like your spirit just rises to a new vibration immediately. And of course, when you then, rather than sit at home, or you do something with that time that you've got away from the matrix, like and be not intuitive, fuck, what's the word, intentional with your time, like away from the matrix, whether that be traveling, I don't know, whatever you want to do, but just being intentional, is you realize the world that you live in, the systems that we have to participate in are not the real world. Like there's obviously the cliche saying to people who are spiritual or out in the fairies, or maybe taking a career break, like I am today, like that, oh, come back to reality, come back to the real world, like you have to come back to the real world at some point. That is not the real world. The real world is not necessarily just traveling, but the real world are the real interactions that you have in this realm, with the people that you meet, the people that you have in your life, the experiences that you have. That's the real world. The systems that we participate in have been created to allow us to continue to just eat, to just drink, and don't get me wrong, without fucking work and without systems, without productivity, without innovation, I'm not saying necessarily it's a bad thing, but I think capitalism has and governments and just society in general has developed so much where we now mask the real world or the real important things in our lives, because we are so focused on work and so focused on making money, being productive, like XYZ. And of course, work gives people structure, and sometimes it gives them purpose. But like I say, I feel like it's not the real world. The real world is what you experience, the love that you experience with the interactions that you have. It's not the job that you're going to. It's not the bills that you're paying. That has been created, manufactured to keep you thinking that is the real world. But when you take honestly, like, I want to make an illustration of this, because as soon as you literally step away, you see the fabric of the, not necessarily, visually, because you're not working, but you have such an introspection about the pure fabric of the working world that we all have to, or we all are sadly in, that it's all fucking, mirage. Like, it's not the real world. Anyway, I'm I'm starting to waffle a little bit here. And just to finish off that point, I think, um, yeah, just having that step back and being intentional with whatever you do for a month, 3 months, a year, the rest of your life, just immersing yourself, what I call the real world, which, like I say, is the real interactions that in the present moment that you have with this beautiful planet and with this beautiful community of human beings and living creatures. Um, so yeah, I mean, off the back of that, like I said earlier, my plan now is, at least for the next 3 to 5 years, is to stay in the real world, and not go back to the corporate world. Um, yeah, as long as I need to, and so that I can travel, I can really focus on music, and yeah, follow my personal legend. And when the time comes, if that doesn't work out to become a career of any sorts, not a problem. Like I said, I'll be happy that I tried, and I'll be fulfilled because I felt fulfilled for those 3 to 5 years. But um, yeah, if the time comes where I need more stability in my life, because I want to buy a house, I want to marry, I want to raise a family, and I need the stability of the 9 to 5 or the corporate world, then I'll come back to it. And it's like, I realize this as well, it's always going to be waiting there. Like, there's there's this concept of we are in a race, especially I feel like when you're in your 20s and 30s, where you're in a race. You check, like, I've been checking people's LinkedIn to see like how quickly their careers are progressing. You talk to your peers about how much money they're making. You're always comparing yourself, and you really feel like you're in some race. But what's 1 year, what's 2 years taking a break from it all gonna actually do in the long run? It's really not gonna have a massive impact. Especially now that we're entering the AI era, like fucking everyone's careers might be out the window in the next 5 years. So anyway, so like you were racing towards a race that's not gonna finish. So um potentially. So yeah. So why am I going to do this? But like I say, like if I need that stability to come back, it's gonna be waiting there for me, and I'll come back to it. Um, and the most important thing I think is if I do come back to it, is I will come back to it with a completely different perspective on the world of work, and particularly the world of work when you're working for someone versus when you're working for yourself, which is a completely different matter. But if you are an employee, you got to see for work for what it is. And personally, I'm going to do the job to the best of my capabilities, but to the allocated time and energy levels that are fair, and that are healthy, for myself as a human being. And like I say, see it for it's just a job, it's just a career. It's not your personal legend. Your personal legend is something completely different. If you're really into your work, or if you're an entrepreneur and you've got an incredible idea, if that is your personal legend, then perfect, because you're earning money at the same time as realizing your full potential and following your intuition. But like I said, if it's not, I need to come back to it at some point. I feel like when I do, if I do, it's gonna be in such a different way. I'm gonna have such lower stress levels, gonna have such less energy drain and soul wrenching, because I will just see it as a job rather than, be fully immersed with it, in the sense of where it takes over your whole life and eats away at you, which I was very much, which tended to do in every job that I did. Like, it would just consume me so much because I would just like so passionate to be successful, and but again, like, feel the kind of the pressure that I'm in a race with everyone else to just try and climb the ladder and try and be, as successful as quickly as possible. That it just drains the life out of you, literally. So, yeah, if I come back to that life, then I will have no resentment. Like I say, we need the corporate world to be able to create and exchange value, so that we can have a good, comfortable life with amazing products that we can, consume and eat, great appliances. Like, the modern world is fantastic, but you have to separate it and see it only as a system that you should, work in tandem with, rather than work inside it and be completely immersed and consumed by it. Um, yeah. So yeah, I'm just so excited about the future, because it's so uncertain. Like, every couple of like 3 to 5 months, I'm thinking, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and it keeps changing. And I thought to myself, I need to stop thinking that far ahead, because I don't even know where I'm gonna be in the next week, like right now, especially with travel, let alone in the next 5 6 months. But all I know is my true north is music, it's travel, it's freedom, it's experiencing things, at least until for the next 3 to 5 years, until I have to be serious with my life. And even saying things like that, like being serious with your life, what the fuck is serious? Like, you could term traveling and rediscovering your faith as the serious part, if that is going to be so life altering. Whereas we think serious is about having a good job, career, raising a family, getting a home, which is just a result of the systems and education and the societal pressures that we experience and are conditions towards. Um, and like I said, the family life is waiting for me, and I'm so excited to have it. It's just not the right time. So, if I need to support that lifestyle with by going back to the corporate world, that's fine. But if I don't need to do that right now, then I won't need to do that. And I'm not going to do that. I'm going to focus on what I am most passionate about and fulfill my soul. And yeah, follow the omens, follow my true north, my personal legend, for as long as I can physically manage it. And that doesn't mean, if I do start raising a family and have to go back to a job, that it ends there. But I know that when I like go to fucking die on my deathbed, I can think back and go, that music stuff, that traveling stuff. Like, I fucking did that to 100% of my abilities and with 100% of my heart. And whether it worked out or not, it's not the most important thing. Like, it's the fact that I gave it a go, and I didn't half-ass it, because there's nothing worse than when you're working 9 to 5, you get consumed by it, and you spend an hour here or there, and you start making progress, but then you get really busy with life and work, and it goes away, and you're in this constant yo-yo of really wanting to do something you're passionate about, but not giving yourself the time, the space, and energy required to really go with two legs in, because the world is designed for not to give you that time and space and that energy to go and do that. It's designed for you to be so drained energetically by the productive work in this capitalist world, that you don't give yourself the time to work on yourself and on allow your soul to live, instead of allow yourself to live as a employee, as a person, as a member of the society. So yeah, 39 minutes, bro. 39 minutes. I hope you fucking like enjoying this. Um, I'm enjoying talking about this, and because I'm fucking passionate about it. Yeah, I mean, a final point, and and I mean, I'm speaking to myself now, and it's a direct message to you, my brother, and to my older self, because again, I've realized what I believe in now is that the past and the present are happening at the same times. Sorry, the past and the futures happen at the same time as the present. Like time is not necessarily linear. So if I have a direct message to you, my boy, I might be able to affect your future state. Well, my future state, but your current state. Um, so yeah, and that is a message or a motto that you remember to wear your rose tinted glasses. And what I mean by that is what I've been saying throughout this video is operate in the language of love, and which is the language of God. Find God, see God, be God, find the God within, and every day be committed to live in that. There's going to be good days, there's going to be bad days where you go from God from good to evil, but when it comes to every day, every week, every month, every year, every lifetime, is the love that you've shown versus the evil that you've shown bigger? Like, have you provided more love to this world, to this realm, than bad and evil? And if you have, then you've done your job, and you're gonna feel so fulfilled. So if you ever feel lost, my guy, if you ever feel lost, watch the fucking vlogs, watch this video, see the love, the passion, for life, for God, for people, for this world in those videos, because that was real, and it is real, and it still should be real throughout the whole of your lifetime. You're gonna go through shit, you're gonna go through good times, but keep the compass north, and that true north is love, and it's God. So yeah, love you. Is there anything else that I haven't? No. See God, experience God, love God, and all His creation that He has provided us in this world. That's the people that you brush shoulders with and you meet, to the beautiful places that you see, to the tasty food that you know enjoy for your senses. Do it through the sense of, or through the lens of love, and be careful not to obviously over consume, but experience for the world that it is, because you are God, in who has come to this world, this physical world, to experience the beautiful universe that it has created, and go on this journey where through the human experience you actually try and go back to God, back to the eternal and singular consciousness that encompasses this whole world, this whole universe, the single vibration that we are all are, and see the beauty for us, and kind of have the aha moment about what all of this actually was for, and what this whole 70, 80, 90 years that you have on this planet is actually about. It's not about the fucking money you make, although that is important, to allow you to do certain things, obviously, like, but it's not the end and be all. And the language of love is way more important than the language of money and consumerism. So yeah, love you, mate. Wherever you are, whenever you're watching this, um, even if you're cringing out right now, bro, like, I don't give a fuck. Because I love myself, I love you, I've accepted myself for who I am, as I am, along the whole timeline that happens, um, and yeah, stay well, stay true to this message to yourself, and yeah, hope you are having a good life, mate. All right, love you.